In a world where heads are big and safety regulations are small, samples must be collected. Only one Kerbal has what it takes to collect them all. Chad Kerbin. I am Buckeye Monkey, and this is Sample Quest. Hey everybody, welcome back to segment 3, the concluding segment of part 2 of Sample Quest. In part 1 of Sample Quest, we got a sample back from Minmus the Moon and Gilly. And so far in part 2, we've launched a fuel depot and a lander separately and got them to Duna together. We've landed on Ike and grabbed a sample there. So now it's time to rendezvous with our fuel depot, then try to land on Duna and try to get back up safely and get back home to Kerbin with with both these samples from Ike and Duna. This is a fresh career mode save that I created just for Sample Quest, and I'm not really using any mods. I have Kerbal Alarm Clock installed, but that's it. And I'm not really using any, tools or external calculators like aerobraking calculators and whatnot. And I'm also not using reverse to VAB or quicksaves. I'm reserving quicksaves simply for if Kerbal Alarm Clock or I mess up with time warping. I'll use that to recover from that. But if I make a bad design, or if I fly my ship poorly, and something crashes and explodes and a Kerbal dies, well then that Kerbal just dies, and that mission is just a failure, and I will have to go back to the drawing board and start again. But so far, despite a few minor mishaps, that has not happened yet. I have not killed a single Kerbal. The death count for the series is still at 0. So enough introduction, let's jump right in and find out what we're doing and get to it. This is only a 10-second burn. Oh, man. Okay, I guess I could come back around and fix my inclination on this descending node. Probably should have done that with this maneuver node, but oh well. Alright, so I mean, the inclination's already pretty good. It's only negative 0.1 off. Maybe let's bring in that periapse a little bit more. Okay. Alright, our first stocks just ran out of fuel, but we should have plenty of fuel to accomplish this rendezvous with our truck stop here. Okay, cool. I'll just keep blabbing away then. So, I wonder if... Come around one more time. I bet if I leave it like maybe right about there, and then go around one more time, and then do another burn to slow myself down the rest of the way, that might get me pretty close to being able to meet right up with that ship. If not, then I can always do things the hard way. There's my dog barking in the background. He's a barker, he loves barking. He's a big tough guy. He's all bark though. The moment somebody walks in the door, he'd be slobbering all over him and wanting to play. Alright, so I'm glad I broke my rule about no mods whatsoever. I'm still not using any like gameplay affecting mods, but Kerbal Alarm Clock is very nice. In my opinion, they need to build some kind of Kerbal Alarm Clock feature into the standard game, because managing your time acceleration is a pain in the butt. Alright, 14-second burn. We want to start this around 7 seconds. It should have calculated it right because I did run out already on this previous stage. Okay. So now what I want to do is... Alright, that didn't quite work out the way I thought it would, but oh well. Yeah, we're not going to be able to go straight for a meetup, so I'm going to bring that in. A little bit more, maybe about right there, I think is good on my next time around. Or, you know, I haven't even hit this first time around yet. Alright, whatever. I'll just go ahead and we may have to zoom around this orbit a billion times to catch up with our truck stop. Let's see how that works. Let's go ahead and go around here. This is kind of why I left the truck stop in... music turned on at that? Okay. Alright, if you're listening to music of your own, I could totally turn mine off. There we go. It's down a little bit more. So part of the reason I parked my truck stop at kind of high orbit at 400,000 is so that when I was getting to this part, I could do some higher level time acceleration. Okay, so we're taking small chunks out of here, so we are going to go around a bunch of times. But eventually we are going to meet up. Yeah, you can't hear the Twitch audio because, at least with XSplit, it will keep rebroadcasting the audio that you hear through Twitch, you know, and basically in an endless echoey loop. Alright, so that was pretty close. So if I start a maneuver here on my next time around, that'll get me real close, and I think I can work with that. Okay, so this is only a 1 second burn. So I'm going to start this around like 3 seconds with just a little bit of thrust. Use a little bit of RCS to finish that off. Okay, I'm not really sure why that separation jumped back up like that. Okay, if I keep burning in this direction, it looks like we're going to keep getting closer. So separation... Yeah, I'm still not... My entire orbit is still outside my target's orbit, which is not good. So I'm going to have to go ahead and fix that. I guess if I just go ahead and see target position, intersect. So I'm actually ahead now. Dang it. That's not cool. So I guess I'm just going to float out to my Apple apps and bring in my Peri apps and make sure it's really touching that orbit there. Oh, look at that. One more time around and we are at 15 kilometers distance. So I'm not even going to adjust anything. I'm just going to work with that once we get close. So now we're approaching it. I'm going to switch to target mode and switch to my ship mode here. So now what I want to do is I want to get my prograde marker onto this target marker over here. And the prograde marker always wants to come to where you are aiming on the net wall. And the retrograde marker always wants to go away from where you're aiming. So if I aim about right here and give it some thrust, that retrograde marker should go moving away, and my prograde marker should pull around on over to here, which will represent me heading straight at my target. There we go. And only 11 meters per second, which is a little slow. We could speed that up some. So we're still pretty far away. Can I even see? Okay, he's over there. So I'm just going to burn straight at truck stop here a little bit. Get our speed towards them up. Maybe like 25 meters per second. Then I'll do a little time acceleration. Okay. So now as I time accelerate, that target, my prograde marker is probably going to want to wander off that target a little bit. So I'm going to want to correct it here in a second. So now if I burn over here, I should pull that target marker back on, or the prograde marker back on the target. Yep. Yeah, the prograde marker is the yellow one. That represents the direction you're traveling, and that pink marker is your target. So when you've got your prograde marker on the pink marker, it means you're going straight at your target. So now, once I get in a little closer, okay, now so I'm going to flip my ship around and start working with the retrograde markers. So now, when I was burning relative to the prograde markers, I was speeding up. But now that I'm going to be burning relative to the retrograde markers, I'll be slowing down. So, and when you're working with the prograde marker, you're pushing it around. I should pay a little more attention, just talk a little less. I'm coming at my target here real quick. But like I was saying, when you're working with the prograde marker, I like to think of it as pulling the prograde marker around, because it wants to come towards where you're aiming. And when you're working with the retrograde marker, I like to think of it as pushing the retrograde marker around, because it always wants to go away from where you're aiming. So now I'm within 500 meters, and I am going pretty slow relative to my target. So let's turn my lights on and flip back around so we're aiming at the target. And from here on in, we're going to use RCS. And just to make sure, I'm going to slow down to almost stopped. 0.1 meters per second, okay. And then I'm going to switch to this guy and set Duna Lander as my target. Now, this guy's a pig, and he's hard to turn around and hard to push with RCS. So I'm not actually going to finish anything off with this guy. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn him around so he's pointed straight at my lander, who's easier to fly. So that the docking clamp is right there. So I can just kind of come right in and dock right on top of it. So now that I've switched back here and set that as my target. Now when I come in, I won't have to maneuver around truck stop quite as much because it's now pointed right at me. So now I want to actually speed up a little bit here. Okay, now we're starting to get pretty close. although we are... There we go. Okay, so 79 meters. Starting to get there. But the target marker keeps, or the prograde marker keeps wanting to wander away. It's mostly because I didn't match orbits very well when I got this encounter. Well, it's not encounter, but when I got this approach. So because of that, this marker keeps wandering away, and that is okay. I mean, I'm still really close. I just have to keep shepherding this marker around to make sure that we keep actually heading on target, keep getting closer and closer. You know, each one of these little maneuvers that I'm making is actually out here making my orbit closer and closer to being exactly the same as my target's orbit here. Truck stop. Okay, so now I think it's about time. I think I'm just going to stop even looking at the navigation ball and really just kind of look at the screen here and keep orienting myself around to figure out what my movement really is, and just kind of eyeball there we go. I think I'm pretty close to not really moving much relative, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to this guy and try to get aimed once again. Come on. Doesn't want to let me... That is a target. There we go. Try to get aimed once again straight at Duna lander to help make this a little bit easier. And I'll switch back. So now... Now we're kind of aimed right at each other. And we're not really moving much relative to each other, which is good. So now I kind of want to just jet on in and keep changing my view. Try to kind of make sure that I'm not floating off in some direction that I'm not expecting. Oops. You know, these docking maneuvers and rendezvous are really just a matter of perseverance and fine-tuning, fine-tuning, and fine-tuning. Oh, we are too far to left there. We're getting pretty close here. Seem to be almost there. And there we go. We are all docked up and ready to refuel our lander here. I might... Uh-oh. I might not be able to totally Yeah, I should be able to totally refuel. This one was totally empty. The other tanks aren't totally empty. Well, maybe. Let's see here. That's another one that was totally empty. Yeah, I think I'll be alright. Oh, man. I totally spaced on getting some science around Ike I could have gotten. I was supposed to get another EVA and a crew report when I was high around Ike, but I didn't. So, no science for me there. Guess that means a potential return trip to Ike. Alright, so we are full once again on our Duna lander. So now what I need to do is EVA a couple of these guys that are in my module here and put them in the science module. So Kerbin is the guy that is in the lander. So it's EVA Engen. And I didn't really build ladders properly to get across here. So I actually have to use my RCS a little bit. Oh, why are we... There we go. Alright, so... We've got one crew in there, and then we want Kerbals to move across as well. Alright, grabbed on. Get you in your science module. Alright, so now we can... we want to go ahead and process everything. And transmit everything. Almost done sending all of our data. Okay, I think that's done. So now let's clean our experiments. So they will be fresh and shiny and new for landing on Duna. Okay, goo container is good. Alright. And we're all fueled up. So we want to go ahead and undock. And it put us on the wrong ship. And we'll go ahead and get away from the truck stop. Oh, should have refueled the monopropellant. Oh well. I think I have enough fuel to land on Duna and get straight back to Kerbin without rendezvousing again. But if I need to rendezvous again, then I can, I guess, just steer from my truck stop once we get close. Alright. So now... what we want to do is land on the light side of Duna. So I think we want to do about 17. I have to use RCS to refine that. We want to do about 10,000. We want to get under 10,000 meters in order to land on Duna. I guess 7's okay. So we should, when we do this burn, we should be burning in a direction that is not going to cause us to crash into our truck stop. I'm fairly certain. Getting close. I missed you so much. It hurt. It physically hurt. I missed you so much. It hurt right here. You didn't miss much though. All we're doing is right now is a deorbit burn to get our periaps down low enough that Duna's atmosphere will take over and bring us down to the surface on the light side. Hey, Phenocode. What's up? Thanks for joining. I am currently trying to land on Duna to get a sample. I already visited Ike and got a sample today on this mission. And then I just rendezvoused with my refueling station that I brought out here to fuel back up for my landing on Duna and subsequent takeoff. And hopefully everything goes well. I haven't killed a Kerbal yet in my sample quest. I started a fresh career mode, and I went to Minmus first, then the Moon, then Gilly, and now here I am out at Duna trying to bring samples back from Ike and Duna. So I already got Ike. If I can successfully not die on Duna, then that'll be and get it back to Kerbin without dying. And that'll be 5 samples in a row with a fresh career mode that I have not killed anybody on. So cross your fingers. Death count's still at 0. I'd like to keep it that way. Come on, landing gear. Why? Didn't want to accept the key input for some reason. Yeah, the chat can get a little funky sometimes. That's why I actually connected with an IRC client, Hex Chat, and that's what's creating the that's what it allows me to get the nice font and everything that's showing up on screen. Okay, so let's double check my staging here. Why did my landing gear come back out again? What is that all about? Stay closed, landing gear. What are you doing? Alright, so my stages look almost right. Why my Sephitrons are in the wrong place, and I'm not sure why. I'm pretty sure I remember putting them in the right place. Sephitrons should go there. Alright. I was a little worried about, because this ship is all LV-909s. I'm pretty sure this is going to be strong enough, have enough oomph to get off of Duna's surface. But just to give me a little extra boost when first taking off, I added a bunch of Sephitrons around these outer stages here. Because all these designs are largely untested. I've done all this stuff before, I've designed ships before to land it on them, but I haven't copied any ship craft files over into this game save. I'm building it all as I'm going along. Which is a good way to kill Kerbals. Surprised I haven't killed any yet. Durbin seems to be enjoying himself. Let's get a little bit of acceleration going here. There we go, got our parachutes triggered. We are still going quite fast. Hopefully nothing breaks when our parachutes deploy. Hey, OG French guy. What's up? Thanks for joining me. You're about to witness a landing on Duna, hopefully. Hopefully a landing and not a fiery death crash. I think I'm going to burn here and slow down some. So I think I'm going a little bit fast. There we go, parachutes deployed, that's good. Alright, let's get our landing gear out. Turn off our SAS so we're not fighting our parachutes. And let's see, our height. I don't know what our height is going to be, what the ground height is going to be. I don't know when these parachutes are going to fully deploy. I'm still scared about that speed a little bit. I'll try to get that down to about 100. Still not going down fast enough for my liking. Okay, full deployment. Good. And there's our shadow. Come on, Shadow, where'd you go? Still going a little fast. I think we'll be good here. All right, touchdown, no explosions. Great success. All right, so let's observe our materials bay and some mystery goo. And don't forget our little instruments here. Those are going to be worth lots of science. We can actually get some pressure data this time. Send a crew report from the surface of Duna. Okay, that is sent. Now EVA, and while we're EVA'd, let's not forget to repack these parachutes. We are not going to need the big ones again. Those are going to fall off when I take back up off of Duna. But we are going to need those again. And deploying my ladder might help so that Durbin doesn't fall on his keister on the way down to the surface. Come on, deploy this ladder too. Can you let me click? Why can't I click on that ladder? That's not cool. There we go. All right, boots down on the ground. On Duna. Duna's a scary place. All the movies about Mars never end well for anybody that lands on Mars. There's always an alien or something. I guess we can't see Ike. Ike must be off the horizon. All right, let's plant our flag. Duna landing 1. This place is scary. Let's get out. Alright. So now we need our surface sample. It's kind of the whole point of Sample Quest. And we'll get our EVA report for some sweet, sweet science. And time to head back into our rocket. Our staging still looks good. Although these new parachutes should now be, these repacked parachutes should now be back up in their own stage. We do not want those deploying when we try to take off here. That would be disastrous for Durbin. Alright, so I think technically if I was going to go straight home to Kerbin from here, it would be best to take off along the 270 line. But I'm worried about my fuel a little bit, so I think I'm going to take off along the 90-degree line east, which will let me potentially rendezvous again with my fuel depot up in orbit if I need to. I don't think I'm going to, though. I think it'll be alright. So let's go ahead and take off. And the Sepatrons were not needed for a boost to get off the surface. But I put them on there just in case. Looks like we've got plenty of oomph in my LV909s. And I don't know what I was worried about. I should have plenty of fuel to just go straight home to Kerbin. I should have just taken off on the 270 line and gone retrograde. First asparagus stalks away. We'll get ourselves a nice high up lapse here. Might as well. That should be plenty good. And then circularize. Thank you, Kerbal Alarm Clock. So this is a 52-second burn. I'm going to start it around 26 seconds. Some real-time acceleration now that we're out of the atmosphere. Oops, passed it a little bit. That's okay. We're still good. We'll be alright. Nothing to worry about. I'm missing it by a couple seconds. Yeah, I mean, we should definitely have plenty of fuel to get back to Kerbin with the sweet samples. I might do kind of like a semi-rescue mission for Chad. Because he's actually not in this lander, he's in the truck stop. And he is a trooper. So I don't know if I want to just leave him out here at Duna. So I might send something out here later to collect at least Chad. I don't know about those other two guys. Maybe we can leave them here in the science lab. But, okay, so I don't think I even got a crew report near Duna. No, I did not. And I didn't get an EVA report near Duna either. Or goo. So let's get EVA. And on my way out of Duna, let's close these ladders. I should probably get high over Duna as science as well. So, let's see, what kind of planetary alignment are we in? Not a great one for getting back to Kerbin. So now, let's see, 57 and 62, that should be a fine orbit for Duna. Let's switch to Flag on Ike. And then do some time acceleration to get ourselves to a good alignment to get back to Kerbin. So what we want to do is get to basically the same alignment that we were at coming out to Duna. We want to draw an imaginary tangent line through Kerbin in its orbit. And we want Duna to be right about there. Right where that tangent intersects with Duna's orbit. It's my dog barking in the background, if you can hear that. He's a big fan of barking. It's kind of his thing. Yeah, we just gotta wait for Kerbin to swing around and catch up to Duna and Kerbin's orbit. Yeah, he loves to bark. He barks at anything and everything that's out on the street. Dogs, cars, people. Sometimes nothing. His philosophy is when in doubt, bark. A little bit more. I think that should be pretty good. Good enough alignment anyway to get back home. So let's switch back to Duna Lander. And since we did take off prograde instead of retro, we want to set our maneuver node at dawn so that as we're leaving Duna's sphere of influence, we are traveling in a direction that is contrary to Duna's orbit. And then once I get out of Duna's sphere of influence, then I'm actually going to set up some maneuver nodes to actually try and get an encounter with Kerbin. And hopefully I'll be able to do it on the first try. The maneuver nodes have not been very friendly to me recently. They've consistently tried to thwart my efforts throughout Sample Quest to get good encounters. But we did not let that deter us. We pushed on anyway. Oh, I guess I got lucky. This is right about the right burn time here. We'll go ahead and get out of orbit, get out of Duna's sphere of influence, get back into the suns, and get home pretty soon. 2 more samples. That'll be 5 total. So far, 0 deaths. Well, you gotta start somewhere. So, this is really only kind of my, I've streamed Rust a couple times and DayZ a little bit, but, this is really only my second kind of, air quotes, official stream that I've done where I've actually kind of tried to advertise it a little bit. So, it just takes a while to build a following, I guess. Or I could never build a following if I just suck at this, but it's fun anyway. I mean, I'm going to be playing the video games anyway. Might as well, have a little more fun with it. Let other people watch. And accelerate here out of Duna's sphere of influence. What happened here? Okay, that was weird. I kind of like jumped out of the encounter and then right back in or something. I don't know. Okay, so now that we are away from Duna, we want to set Kerbin as a target and try to get home. That is not very close. I did not pick a great... I did not time that very well. Did not pick a great time to try to transfer between orbits there. Let's see if dragging this will help. Or I could just drag it completely off. Maybe I could do that too and make it disappear. That actually is worse. So if we go, dang it, we might have to go all the way around in orbit or so to actually get ourselves no. Guess not. I guess this is my best chance of getting home. It's just going to be a pain to try to fix this. My inclination's not too bad. And that'll do it. That's a lot of delta V though. I don't know if I have that much. I mean, that'll give me an encounter. 1000 Delta V. I guess we'll try it. We'll see what happens. How much fuel do I have left on the outside here? That's saying it's a 1 minute 38 second burn. Okay, yeah, I do have that. That's for sure. I think we'll be good. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and execute this burn, and then we will tidy up our periaps later. So 138. Let's see, we want to start this burn around 50 or so seconds. I mean, if I can get through this burn and only use up these 2 outer stages, then I am totally golden. Because I'll still have this whole full inner stage here of fuel to tidy up my periaps. I'll be in great shape. And it looks like I'm gonna be able to do it. Looks like I'm in great shape here. Durbin, your start was a little shaky, buddy. When I tested out the ladders on this landing vehicle, it fell over and you were in charge. But looks like you've managed to pull it together. Of course, I might be counting chickens before they hatch here, but... Okay, let's switch back to this mode and... Okay, the more we burn, the more our periaps is going down. So I'm just going to keep burning until that periap starts going back up. Oop, and it's going back up. Alright. So... But it's already at only 10 million kilometers. So I can go ahead and time accelerate some. And then set up another maneuver node somewhere about halfway there. And then once I'm halfway there, I can fix my periaps, get it nice and close to Kerbin. I mean, I could just go into the encounter and fix it there, maybe. I have tons of fuel, but just to be safe, we'll do it out here. And now, it does not want me to... Come on! Let me set up a maneuver node, you jerk. There we go. I think that's on the blue line. Be careful here so we don't drag it off the blue line as we're moving it. That should be good enough. Okay, so... Nice. Is this like, aerobraking by bouncing at 40k? Nice. And of course the interface has my numbers all stacked on top of each other now, which is not cool. No, I don't want to add a maneuver node. I want to switch focus to Kerbin. Oh, that's not going to help me, I guess. Come on. Work with me, interface. I guess I'm just going to have to do this the hard way and tweak and hover. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm going to call this maneuver node good enough. Because... Oh... No! Really? I'm totally screwed. I'm gonna have to launch a rescue mission. I did not deploy my my solar panels, and my SAS drained the rest of my electricity. Oh, I had just enough to extend. It let me extend them. Thank the Lord. Or maybe that's different now in this version. Maybe you can extend them even if you're out of juice. Wow. I must have had like
I must have had just no. Man, I'm glad that let me extend them anyway. I'm not sure why it let me extend them. I thought I was totally out of juice. But, wow, that was almost disaster. We're gonna call that a win. Totally bonehead move on my part. Did not get penalized for it. That is a definite win. Okay, so this is only a 1 second burn, right? Let's get a lot closer to that maneuver node. And get down to maybe 3 or 4 seconds and just start a nice gentle burn. Alright, my periapse is 1.4 million. I've got a full fuel tank. I'm just going to go into the encounter and fix my periapse once I'm there. To hell with these maneuver nodes. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that, Kerbal Space Program. I did not mean to insult you there. Because you definitely helped me out with the solar panels. You can have your finicky maneuver nodes, and you can keep them, and keep frustrating me with them as long as you let me get out of jams, like no electricity. I could have sworn if you're out of juice, you can't extend solar panels. Maybe it's a change in 0.23. Maybe I got super lucky. I don't know. Well, why am I fiddling with that? I have Kerbal Alarm Clock. I keep forgetting. Okay, so periapse 1.4. Our inclination is kind of janky. I'm gonna fix that inclination just on the outside chance that when I come in, I'll be coming in somewhere near KSC, and I could try to land somewhere close. Okay, so inclination's pretty good now, but our periapse is still way too far out. We want to burn west right now to bring that periapse in. Getting there, almost. 29. It's good enough. Nice safe periapse for getting into Kerbin. So what I'm gonna do now is EVA and grab the science out of these goo containers, because my parachutes are on my they're on my lander. Oh, don't fly away. Where are you going? My parachutes are on my lander can, and I want to make sure that, just in case, can we not get the goo? Are we too far away? I want to make sure that just in case when my parachutes deploy, my ship falls apart on me. Come on. That I still have that science safely in the can. Okay, got that goo container. Got that goo container. Alright. So, come on, let me grab it. And board back in there. Okay. So now, if my ship falls apart, when these parachutes deploy, I don't lose my science. Because that happened to me after my moon mission. I had a bunch of science in some in some goo containers, and in the materials lab, they were below my cockpit, and when the parachutes deployed, it all fell off and I lost all that science because I didn't bring it in. Chad survived because the parachutes were attached to the cockpit and the cockpit came down safe and sound. But the science did not survive, unfortunately. Let's see. KSC is over by the penalty box. So, we might be able to try to get to KSC. We'll see what happens once this aerobraking starts. Do I need to... yeah. Let's not forget to retract our solar panels. Yeah, but the reason I couldn't go back and fix it was I've set a rule. I've set a rule for this sample quest that I'm on that I'm only going to use quick saves to recover from time acceleration related mishaps, like if I warp right through a planet or something, or an encounter. And so if I screw up, and my ship isn't designed well and it falls apart on re-entry, then it's a failure and I'm just going to have to try again. I think we're going to... Yeah, we're not going to make it all the way around to KSC. We're just going to come down. Probably... Might hit land there, doubt it. We're probably just going to come down in the ocean somewhere around here. Yeah, definitely not making it anywhere close to KSC. We are coming in definitely very hot, though. If I was playing with, like, deadly re-entry mods or something, this would have been an explosion, I think. I think we hit atmosphere at, like, 3,000 meters per second. That's pretty quick. But now we're slowing down to a nice, comfortable pace. Why? Oh, these sheets don't want to redeploy. There we go. I'm gonna have to manually do it. Is that all the chutes? That's all three of those. Yep, all three of those. Okay, all the chutes are deployed. And now we are slowing down nicely. Let's extend our landing gear for no particular reason because we're going to have water. Still going kind of fast, but we're slowing down at a good clip. I think we'll be in good shape. We should be below 100 meters per second by the time we hit 500 feet, which is what you want. You're going faster than about 100 meters per second when your parachutes go to full deployment. That's when stuff can really break badly. But we might even be going slow enough that my whole ship holds together, which would be nice. What's really nice is that I did not have to mount a rescue mission to get Durbin, because apparently they put backup batteries in the solar panels now, so that you can always deploy them no matter what. Oh, you know what? It wasn't my SAS. I left my lights on like a noob. That's what drained my battery. Is those darn lights. Okay, coming up on 100 meters per second, and I'm gonna burn my engine just a little bit here so that when these things deploy fully, we're going nice and slow, and hopefully things won't fall apart. There we go. 6.2. Is a nice speed for hitting the water. I don't think anything will go poof at that speed. And we're still slowing down a little bit too. And we're almost home, Durbin. You should be a little more excited. You're the first Kerbal to land on Duna. At least in this game save. And we're down. Recover vessel before we tip over and things disappear. And let's count up our sweet, sweet science that we could have gotten a lot more of, but I forgot to do some certain things. 1,626 science total. That's not too bad at all. Alright. What do I want to purchase next? I definitely want the big landing gear. Because not having those kind of sucks when you are building heavier landing vehicles. Advanced Metalworks is, well, I guess it does give me the long girder, But apart from the long girder, Advanced Metalworks is not that great. But let's see, this will give me the big lander can. I can get both of these. Maybe I should go for... No, I don't need more science instruments. I need more rocket parts. So we're gonna buy both of those. And now there we go. Now we can get the mainsail and the Rocco Max Jumbo, the big Mamma Jamma. Now we can build some rockets. Alright. 316 science left. I can still buy something down around here. I can get the Gigantor solar panels. Or I could create myself a rover. I mean, rovers aren't really that great for science. You're better off just kind of hopping around. They're fun, but they're not really going to get you much science. Rover or big solar panels? I mean, you can always slap on more little solar panels. So I'll go with the rover parts. Heck, why not? So... Okay, so that's pretty much everything I can buy with the science that I got here. That's it for tonight. That makes the 5th sample so far. I've got Minmus, I've got the Moon, I've got Gilly, and now I got Duna and Ike. And I haven't killed a single Kerbal yet, which I am quite amazed. I figured I'd be able to get away with the Moon and Minmus without killing one. But, I've gotten to Duna and back. And to Eve and back. I didn't land on Eve, obviously not with this tech level. That's one that scares me a little bit. Because my no quick save policy means any little mistake is going to be a big disaster. But thanks you guys for watching. If you liked this broadcast, I'm going to be doing more of them in the near future. I haven't really decided on a set schedule yet. But as soon as I do, I will post it. And so if you guys like this, go ahead and hit that follow button, please. And you can get more of the same. I'm also thinking of starting a Q&A session. I've got about 500 hours in the game, and I've learned a lot and figured a lot of stuff out. So for if some of you guys are newer players and you have some questions about how you can do some certain things, and I think I'm going to start a streaming series for just that. So you can come on in and ask some questions, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. I'm by no means the foremost expert on Kerbal Space Program. I am no Scott Manley. but I have done a couple crazy things, like landing on Duna and getting a sample back from Duna with Tier 0 tech. Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks again for watching. And that's it. So I will leave you guys with my awesome intro one more time, and then I will sign off for the night. 900 hours, wow, that's almost twice as much as me. I guess you guys don't need the question and answer sessions for me. There were a couple people on earlier that were a little newer to the game, but I guess you guys are probably experts too. But cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.
In a world where heads are big and safety regulations are small, samples must be collected. Only one Kerbal has what it takes to collect them all. Chad Kerbin. I am Buckeye Monkey, and this is Sample Quest.